Hi everyone, I'm Monish. Welcome to HR Tech Orbit, the channel where we simplify HR and HR technology for you. Every employee who ever joins a company goes on a same journey. The journey from the day one he starts to the day he leaves the organization. And today in this video, I'll be simplifying this whole journey for you guys. I'll be talking about 7 different stages in this journey. So let's get into it. Let's start with the big picture. Hire to retire covers the complete employee life cycle. Literally, every stage a person moves through during their entire journey within an organization. It starts with hiring, then moves into onboarding, then development, then performance management, compensation and benefits, retention, and finally exit. That's 7 stages in total, and together they form one continuous journey. Here is why this matters. Almost every HR process a company runs, every policy, every system, every conversation with an employee fits somewhere on this timeline. So once you understand these 7 stages, you actually understand the entire shape of HR as a function. And over next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through each one so you can easily understand what exactly happens at every point in an employee's journey. Let's begin with the stage 1, which is hiring. This is everything that happens before someone officially joins. Posting the job, screening resumes, running interviews, negotiating, and rolling out offer. You'll also hear this stage called recruitment or talent acquisition. Different companies may use different terms, but it's the same idea. And the goal here is simple, even if it isn't always easy, to find the right person and do it quickly. Because open roles cost companies time and money every single day they stay unfilled. Now, once someone accepts that offer, we move into stage 2, which is onboarding. Onboarding covers an employee's first few weeks at the company. Paperwork, setting up their laptop, email, ID card, even induction sessions where they learn about the company and their respective teams and how things work. This stage matters more than people realize. A strong onboarding experience makes a new employee feel welcomed and set up for success from day one. But what about the week one? That's often where things go wrong early. And it's not unusual for someone to quit within their first month if onboarding is disorganized or confusing. So, these first 2 stages, hiring and onboarding, really set the tone for everything that follows in the employee's journey. Once someone settled in, we move into stage 3, which is development. And this is where employee actually build their skills, training programs, certifications, upskilling, and anything that helps someone grow in their role or prepare for the next one. But what makes this stage different from hiring and onboarding? They are actually one time events. You go through them once and you are done. But the development isn't like that, it's continuous. It keeps happening for as long as someone stays with the company, sometimes for years. And this is a stage a lot of companies underinvest in, which is a mistake because the data consistently shows that organizations who invest seriously in development tend to retain their talent much longer because people just don't show up for paycheck. Most of them genuinely want to grow. They want to learn new things and see a future for themselves inside the company. And when that growth stops, that often when good people start looking elsewhere. So that covers how people join a company and how they grow when they are in. And now let's talk about those stages which actually decide whether an employee wants to stay in a company or he eventually wants to leave. Stage 4 is performance management, and this is where companies formally tracks how an employee is doing, setting goals, giving feedbacks, running review cycles usually after every quarter or once in a year. At its core, this stage is trying to answer one simple question: is this person growing? And is he delivering the results that company needs from him? Now performance and pay are closely linked, which brings us to stage 5, which is compensation and benefits. This covers salary, bonuses, health insurance, other perks, and promotion. Basically, everything an employee receive in exchange of their work. This stage decides something really important: whether employee feels like they are being fairly rewarded. And here's the honest truth: if a company gets performance management or compensation wrong, even really good employees start quietly looking at other opportunities. These two stages, more than almost any others, directly affect whether your best people choose to stay. That brings us to stage 6: retention. Retention is all about keeping good employees engaged, motivated, and genuinely happy to stay before they ever start thinking about leaving. This includes things like employee engagement surveys, regular career conversations between manager and their teams, and recognition programs that celebrate good work. And here's the fact worth remembering because it explains why companies take the stage seriously. Retaining an existing employee is almost far cheaper than hiring and training a replacement. Because when you factor in the recruitment cost, onboarding time, and the productivity dip while someone new gets up to the speed, losing an employee is expensive, often far more expensive than people assume. And that's exactly why smart organizations treat retention as an ongoing event and not a one time fix. And finally, we arrive at stage 7: exit. No matter how well a company manage the previous 6 stages, every employee eventually leaves, whether that's through retirement, resignation, or some other circumstance. This stage cover exit interviews, final settlements, returning employees' assets, and properly closing out employees' record. It's tempting to think of exit as the least important stage, since the employee is on his way out anyway. But that's a mistake. A respectful, well managed exit protects the company's reputation, because how you treat someone on their way out often gets remembered and talked about more than people expect. And practically speaking, the door often stays open. Former employees may become clients, referrals, or even boomerang hires later on, but only if that final stage was handled with care. So that's complete hire to retire journey: hiring, onboarding, development, performance, compensation, retention, and exit. 7 different stages, but one employee journey. And in the next episode, I'll show you which HR technologies actually power these stages. So, if this video helped you understand HR little better, then do like, share, and subscribe to HR Tech Orbit. And I'll see you in the next one.